As a nation, we're hooked on our fortnight in the sun. Each year, we take 45 million foreign holidays, clocking up the air miles in search of our slice of paradise. Many of us spend our whole holiday locked in the comfort and security behind the hotel walls.
The last hotel I went to was 5-star and I milked the room service.
Can we have some rosé champagne, please?
But what if you were forced to ditch the daiquiris, leave the lounges and see life beyond the beachfront? Each week, we'll follow a group of sun-seeking Brits who've signed up for a free holiday, but have no idea what's in store for them.
Happy holiday.
Cheers. They presume they'll be staying in the cocoon of their cosy hotel.
There's someone who is waiting for you at the lounge.
But in reality, their holiday is about to be hijacked by the locals.
I'd like you to spend the rest of the week with me.
I'd like to welcome you to my home.
This is the kitchen.
It smells of urine.
What is it? What the fuck is it? Spider.
Rather than lazing in luxury, one local family will show the Brits the consequences of their holidaying decisions.
I'm worried about actually doing it and not doing it quick enough.
I'm not putting on my head. No, you have to put it on. No.
I'm really shocked, absolutely astounded.
They'll also show them the nation's hidden highlights.
Bud me up, baby. Let's do this.
To motivate us all to abandon our beach balls and discover the real country. This week, luxury-loving couples Ally, Stewart, Graham and Sally are in the Maldives.
That sounded like the bones.
Bin liners have just leaked all over my feet.
No. This is absolutely incredible.
I've got fish coming in from all angles.
I feel really ashamed.
"28-year-old Ally from Oxfordshire spends months seeking out the perfect holiday. Nicknamed 5-star Ally by her fiancé Stewart, she loves nothing more than the exclusivity of a super swanky resort.
We like beach holidays, all-inclusive holidays, a little bit of luxury thrown in.
Ally's dad Graham is engaged to Sally. Suckers for top-of-the-range all-inclusive, they expect quality and won't settle for second best.
We do like nice, clean rooms, but they've got to be very, very clean. Where you feel that some effort has been put into maintaining them.
Yes, a room with a view is important.
Both couples may have travelled the globe in style, but they've seen very little of it.
It's definitely a case of get a lovely breakfast, take it easy for a couple of hours, see what's for lunch, have a nap. See what's for lunch, have another nap.
We just like to do nothing, really.
Now they're about to experience a holiday with a twist.
Okay. Wow, isn't it amazing?
They've signed up for a trip of a lifetime in the Maldives, but they've got no idea what's in store. Nestled deep in the Indian Ocean, the Maldives is made up of 1,200 tiny islands spread across a vast 90,000 square kilometres of water. Most islands are little more than 1 square kilometre, meaning each island has only one hotel. Tourism is the country's biggest industry, with 97 resorts welcoming more than 600,000 visitors a year. The best time to visit is between December and April, with prices starting at around £1,200 a week.
This is just out of this world, isn't it?
For one night only, our luxury-loving tourists are booked into the water villas at the stunning Wreathy Beach Resort and Spa.
We're coming back.
Yeah? Yeah?
I reckon.
A single night in a water villa will set you back over £300. But they come complete with a private balcony and views to die for.
Look at the privacy you get as well.
That's incredible.
Wow.
Perfect for anyone who appreciates the finer things in life.
Wow. This is absolutely stunning, isn't it?
Having a hotel on an island, you almost feel as though it's an island of your own, really. It's absolutely exquisite.
Cheers.
But even in paradise, 5-star Ally isn't easily pleased.
Everything's got to be perfect. If there's a slight thing wrong, if there's an insect that's in the wrong place, there's a major problem, isn't there?
He's painting me out to be a snob. I'm not that at all. That really doesn't look appetising. That looks gross. And it doesn't smell nice at all, actually. I always bring loads of toiletries with me because I never trust that the toiletries they're going to provide in the hotel are good enough. I always think that they're going to be nice, but not good enough for me.
Hiya.
Hello. Did you have a nice walk along the beach?
Very nice.
Having settled in, the holidaymakers get down to what they do best, lazing around on the beach.
This is the luxury life that you dream about, really, back home.
So it's quite exhausting, isn't it? Walking all down the beach to the bar.
But someone has to do it.
Absolutely.
Would you think of emigrating to a place like this? Like people emigrate to Australia and places like that?
I think it would be very easy to, yeah. If I had the facilities and the money to, I'd definitely consider this, yeah.
I think it would be different if you were working on the island.
How hard could it be?
Well, that's the question. That's the question.
Ali, Stewart, Graham and Sally should make the most of their time in paradise.
Hello there.
I'm really sorry to disturb you, but there are some people at the reception.
Oh, OK. For us?
Yes.
OK.
They don't know it yet, but they're about to discover a very different side to the Maldives. A local family are hijacking the Brits, and their time at the resort is over.
We would like to invite you to stay with us, our local island. We'll be looking after you, we'll be giving you local food, plus we'll give you accommodation for you. So you get
For the rest of the week, the Brits will be leaving the seclusion of the resort to live and work with Zuba and his local community from the island of Kihadu.
Those who stay in a resort, they will never see the real lifestyle of a Maldivian, how people live in local villages.
As well as introducing his guests to the real Maldives, Zuba wants to show them the true cost of their dream holiday and the impact it's having on his country.
We'll give you 30 minutes to pack your bags.
Pack now.
This way, this way. Bye! Oh no, we're going to miss that beautiful sea.
I can't believe it, my child.
Oh my God, just throw everything on the bed. So much for luxury, Graham.
Does the other island have electricity?
Have you got all your toiletries?
Oh!
With no time to waste, they pack as best they can.
Right, I think that's everything.
But Ali's brought a ton of life's little luxuries.
Quick, Graham. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Zuba's island is a mere 10-minute boat ride from the luxury resort. But as holiday experiences go, it's a million miles away from anything our pampered Brits have ever experienced before.
Welcome to this island. This is called Kihadu. It's about 450 people live on this island. Yeah. We live like one family, so it's very much community-oriented. And in Maldives, the resorts are separate from the local villages. So when you go to a resort, you will see only holidaymakers and some staff. The concept is unique because you will never get disturbance from any other person.
Right.
So only holidaymakers and the staff.
In fact, the local separation from the decadence of the westernised resorts makes tourism possible in what is a deeply religious Muslim country.
This is the mosque here.
Oh.
Yeah. So in Muslim religion, like we pray 5 times daily. So people come here and pray. This is where you're going to have your meals with us. And she is my wife, Nazu.
Hi, Nazu.
So be part of the family, you know. You don't have to feel that you are a guest here. Just feel like a family member for
That's very kind of you.
This is the first time any Westerners have ever stayed on Zuba's island, which is great, if they can play by the rules.
You guys are married or just girlfriends or boyfriends?
We're engaged to be married, Sal and I.
We're engaged as well.
We're getting married next year.
Okay, so in Maldivian culture, when you are not married, we don't allow to be in in one room.
Right, no, that's fine. Ali and I will stay together.
We'll have pillow fights and face masks.
I think we're the same, twin beds.
Yeah, but we're not allowed to stay in the same bedroom.
Oh, really?
No.
I thought it was just separate.
No.
I thought of sleeping with me, eh?
I won't say I'm happy to share a room. I will.
Hello, roomie.
Hello, room.
Settling into their less glamorous surroundings is going to be a challenge.
Oh, I don't even want to look at it.
Especially for five-star Ali.
There's no toilet roll. And there's a hose to clean your noo-noo. And your other bits and bobs.
But Stewart's struggling with the thought of having to share with his future father-in-law.
I know it's been suggested that we would respect the culture and traditions, but I don't see a problem with two twin mattresses with a period apart.
I think that we should be, as we agreed with him.
Yeah.
How about you put one mattress in the floor there, one mattress in the floor?
But he specifically said they don't share a room. And I think that we should respect their traditions in their village. They've welcomed us here and invited us here.
Yeah, that's just it's not ideal, the sleeping situation. It's just a bit odd. But I kind of, I suppose I'll have to part with it.
Tourists Sally, Graham, Stewart and Ali have been taken from their luxury resort in the Maldives to live and work with locals on the island of Kihadu.
Fantastic.
It's like a feast.
To welcome his guests into their new home, Zuba and his wife Nazu have prepared a traditional Maldivian dinner.
Chapati, yes.
It's a huge contrast to the indulgence of the resort's all-inclusive buffet, which serves up food imported from all over the world.
This is dal curry with some fish and vegetables in it.
Yeah.
Which, with Ali's high standards, is going to be a challenge.
How spicy is this curry?
Not very spicy.
What fish is that?
This is tuna.
Tuna.
Yeah, you should just try this one.
It's like the bones. I don't normally like eating food off the bone. I was eating the rice plain and the chapati's plain, and then he said, "Oh no, put some of that dal curry on." And he said, "Mix it all in." And I was there trying to eat the rice, mixed in with this curry that I just really didn't like, which tasted of fish. And I thought, oh my goodness, I can't eat anymore. But I didn't want to insult him.
Morning.
Early next morning, and there's no time for a lie-in, as Zuba has some work lined up for them.
Morning.
So, did you sleep well?
Stewart said that my dad snores like a train, and he was surprised at my dad's lack of pyjamas.
There was a ripple across the bedclothes as every...
I'm actually really disturbed though by the fact that he sleeps noddy.
Like many local islands, Kihadu acts as a kind of service island to the nearby resorts. This morning, Zuba has arranged for his guests to return to the resort they were hijacked from.
Okay. Gosh, this is a bit different from when we last arrived on the island, isn't it?
This time, they won't be pampered holidaymakers, they'll be put to work. On our luxury holidays, we as tourists consume a lot. And in the middle of the Indian Ocean, every bottle of beer, can of soft drink and fancy bit of food we order has to be imported.
Oh my gosh, it's all black bags and rubbish.
And all these imports produce an awful lot of rubbish.
This is a garbage area.
Yeah.
Different kind of empty bottles.
Paper
and
everything.
Everything is here.
With tourists creating 5 times as much waste as locals, Zuba has arranged for them to help clear some of the holidaymakers' rubbish at Reethy Beach. Unsurprisingly, this is a side to her luxury holiday that Ali would rather not have to deal with.
I can just imagine the kind of stuff you're going to get. I'm not touching contraceptive and old food, dirty sanitary bags. I've seen a sanitary bag.
There's no room on the island for all the tourists' waste, so once a week the rubbish boat arrives and it all has to be loaded up and shipped out.
Oh, my clothes are filthy.
Are you going with that one, Sal?
No, it's disgusting.
I don't think you've got any idea of how bad it actually smells now. It's appalling.
All the juice from the bin liners have just leaked all over my feet and trousers. It's not good.
And these are the only clean trousers I've got.
They have got no idea what's going on in the water above them.
In 2 days' time, Ali, Stewart, Graham and Sally will see where the rubbish they helped create ends up. In the meantime, Zuba wants to show them how, unlike the resorts, local islands try to make the most out of their natural resources.
Must be so strong.
One of the most common is the coconut.
So do you grip with your feet?
Okay, well done. Very good. Oh, that's so refreshing, isn't it?
That's gorgeous.
The Maldives produces around 15 million coconuts a year. While the flesh and milk form a major part of the Maldivian diet, the nectar from the flower produces a sweet drink known as ra. Maldivian coconuts are also thought to have health benefits and are used for a variety of complementary medicines.
You have to jump 2 legs same time.
I've got an image of a koala.
I love this tree.
It's very graceful.
Tree hugging.
The local mantra is waste nothing. And in the case of the coconut tree, using every last element has become a bit of an art form. Kajan is a mat made from coconut leaves, which is used to thatch roofs and make fences.
Thank you very much.
Back on Kihadu, Zuba's wife Nazu wants to show her guests how locals make the best out of their natural resources.
No, I'm doing it wrong. Oh, I get you, sorry.
Although the women make it look easy, weaving Kajan is hard work. A single mat takes about an hour.
Like that? Should be below.
But in Ali's case, it could take all day.
Sally, are you getting the hang of this?
I think I'm getting it.
I just can't do it. It looks pretty easy when you watch them do it so fast. Just can't get the hang of it at all. I can't. It just seems like whenever I'm trying to do it, I'm doing it wrong. And my back is killing me.
This is make it from the coconut, the husk.
Even the coconut's husk is used to make rope.
Like that, and then go like that.
Stop laughing at me. Okay. They are doing it like this.
I never realised how difficult it was. This is absolutely incredible. That to make rope like this was so, so difficult, and I'm not going to be beaten. Roll, roll, roll.
Small, small.
A little bit, yes? Oh, great. Little bit, Ali. I've done it.
Knowing how tourists love a bit of rustic charm, the resorts have been quick to exploit the tradition. They buy it from the island and use it to make beach umbrellas.
This rope is end here, so
Yeah.
they are writing new one. This has to be
Hard at work on Reethy Beach, Stewart and Graham are helping local workers attach the finished Kajan to the umbrella frames.
This is going to be a disaster.
It's very simple. It's not difficult at all, for even you also.
Thank you very much.
I'm absolutely hopeless around the house, as these guys are about to discover.
And Stewart isn't much better.
Oh. Oh.
If you want this finished by the end of the holiday season, you're going to have to let us go.
Hello.
Hello.
Look what I
You've never
made.
done that much.
I made all this today, Stu.
Yeah, did you?
On their return to the resort, the girls can't wait to show off their newfound skills.
How many did you actually do, though, seriously?
Yeah, not that much of one.
But honestly, that is so difficult to do. That is not just a bale of leaf. That is a person who's done that.
Having spent the day working, everyone is starting to look beyond the luxury and appreciate what goes on behind the scenes of their dream holiday. Zuba wants to show his guests how the influence of Western culture is having a negative impact on the environment. He's promised to take them to a beach on a local island, but it's not quite what they're expecting. While only a few miles from the resort, it's more like a vision of hell than the images of paradise they expect from the Maldives. Traditionally, Maldivians simply dispose of their waste on the beach, which before tourism was never a problem.
Before, we have everything which is natural. For example, we have fish bones, like food items, things like that, that can be biodegradable, like just everything disappears naturally.
But the demands of the tourists introduced locals to heavily packaged Western imports.
35, 40 years before, we don't have things like this Coke bottles or soft drinks, Nescafe and all such things. But now we have a lot of things like plastics, tins and all those things.
So this is just going to build and build and build?
Yeah.
I'm really, really shocked.
Yeah.
Absolutely astounded. It's just quite shocking to feel that the Western culture has actually had such an influence on such an old traditional culture. It's a massive problem.
While the environmental problems faced by locals are safely tucked away from holidaymakers, the resorts leave nothing to chance when it comes to their own beaches.
So today you're going to stay on Reethi Beach and do some work on the island?
Today, Zuba wants to show his guests just how much effort goes into creating the perfect image the Maldives is so famous for.
This looks ominous, doesn't it?
It does.
Which means they've got to spend 2 hours manicuring the resort beach.
It's good for the bingo wings. Seriously.
A job that's done every morning before most tourists even get out of bed.
It's starting to get warm, isn't it?
Oh,
When we stayed in that chalet, you just looked out and it was a clean beach. I had no idea that they were actually up early going around the entire island,
before
sweeping the entire thing.
It makes you think about the beauty of the beach and the fact that it's more engineered rather than being a natural phenomenon, really.
Thinking about her time in the Maldives, Ali is less convinced about the luxury resort experience.
There's an advert for this travel company in England, and in it they're putting the sand down, they're putting the umbrellas down and the light in the sky, and they're basically saying, we'll make your dream holiday whatever it is you want. And Stewart said it's very fake. It's showing that they will give you a facade, basically, of what you dream of, and it's so true.
They manufacture it,
so
don't they?
fake, yeah, it's very manufactured, holidays are.
Pulled from their luxury resort in the Maldives, Ali, Stewart, Graham and Sally are living and working with the locals who help make their dream holiday possible.
This is proper authentic, isn't it? I love it. Look, he's steering with his foot. How amazing is that? That's the best thing in the world.
This morning, in a bid to show them life outside the resort, their host, Zuba, is taking them fishing with his uncle Ahmed.
Do you think they're going to have that as like a buoy?
Fishing provides locals with their main source of food, but it's also a valuable source of income. Zuba's uncle earns a living by selling to the resorts. The first job is to catch the bait.
Oh my God! Oh,
Go on, Stu. You could do it.
It's really interesting to watch, actually, but I keep feeling sorry for the fish that they're catching, and I just wanted to throw them back into the sea.
Then, after about an hour of sitting around, for some reason no one ever explains, one of the fishermen starts going bonkers. But it seems to have the desired effect.
Fish on me!
He said nothing all day, and suddenly... I'm loving him, he's my friend.
The whole thing is so mad that even Ali can't resist joining in.
I've got fish coming in from all angles. It's not good.
To really make the most out of a trip to the Maldives, you need to say goodbye to your sunbed and hit the waters. Most resorts arrange excursions on local boats, which are known as dhonis. They'll visit sandbanks, dive sites, and even local islands. If you're feeling adventurous, you might even consider chartering your own. Expect to pay anywhere between £250 and £350 per day. The sea is teeming with wildlife, and there's a whole world waiting to be discovered. For beginners wanting to explore the corals, resorts hire snorkels and flippers for around £10 to £20 per day. But if you're serious about diving, you might consider an open water course. This requires 9 dives and some classroom training. The cost in the Maldives will be between £250 and £500, depending on the dive school. But if diving's not your thing, it's not difficult to see some amazing marine life without even setting foot in the water, as dolphins, rays and reef sharks love to bask in the warm waters close to the beaches. With a boat full of tuna, our tourists head to the resort to sell it. And for beach lover Ali, whose idea of a perfect holiday is to lounge around and do nothing, the trip has been a revelation.
We've had a really great day, actually. At first, when the tuna were flying all over the place, it's a bit scary because you're scared of getting whacked in the face. But we got stuck in, didn't we? Yeah. My favourite bit is when that man started yelling and screaming. That was just hilarious.
Yeah.
Great day.
But before the resort will buy the fish, they have to wash and gut them.
That's disgusting, isn't it?
An experience that Ali may not have bargained for.
Guts are coming out and the intestines are coming out. There's blood everywhere. It's like a fish massacre.
Right, someone else will probably have I've pulled enough fish heads off.
Yeah. I'll show you how it's done, babe.
Casting aside her 5-star luxury-loving reputation, Ali can't resist getting stuck in.
Crack.
That's it, pull it off. Twist.
Twist. Pull. Yeah! Well done.
The next day, the heavens open and the islands quickly start flooding.
There's a hole. Trust me, it's find the hole.
Whilst most tourists would run to the hotel bar during a tropical storm, locals quite enjoy the novelty of a downpour. Keen to take advantage, Zuba's persuaded the boys to help him in the garden.
So would you clear this area or just put it in as it is?
No problem.
No?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
So, too deep?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
No problem, yeah.
When I came over here to the Maldives, I was promised sun, sand and sea.
But I like to get wet during...
You like to get wet?
Once you're wet, aren't you?
Because it's not normal for us, I mean.
Seeing the flooding after just a few hours, Graham wonders how the islands cope in severe storms.
Are you getting worried about climate change and sea levels and things like that?
Yes. I think like global warming and sea level rising, this is a big problem for a country like Maldives, which is just 1.5 meters above from the sea level. Yeah. If the global rising continues like this, maybe after 50 years, you don't get a chance to see Maldives as it is.
So it's in your lifetime.
With over 99% of its territory being sea, the Maldives is the most watery nation on Earth. The island's average height of 1.5 metres above sea level makes it the lowest lying country in the world. Some scientists predict the sea level rising by 59 centimetres before the end of the century, meaning that the Maldives could become the first country to disappear due to global warming.
To think that this, where I'm standing, may not exist. Words can't describe it. I mean, how do you describe the threat of losing what you've known and what your family have known all their life? I feel sad for them because they're just like, you know, they're normal kids with hopes and dreams like every other kid in the world. And their hopes and dreams, you know, for the future, they're just not going to be there, are they?
It's a new day, and the tourists are finding out what happens to all the rubbish they loaded from their luxury resort. This starts with a 6-hour boat ride to the island of Thilafushi.
It's pretty gruesome, really, being on one of these. It obviously smells, and there's flies everywhere, and all the rubbish from the island resort. Pretty awful.
This is absolutely unreal.
Less than 20 years ago, the island of Thilafushi didn't exist. In a desperate bid to try and deal with all the waste generated after the tourism boom, the government created an artificial island, which was quite literally made out of rubbish.
So we just sprang it?
Can we just dump it in here? Metal thing.
Oh, my stomach is actually turning.
With 330 tons of waste being dumped here every day, Thilafushi is drowning in rubbish.
You never could imagine that this actually existed because all the brochures, all the travel agents portray the Maldives as such a wonderful place, which it is, but then you've got this other side as well. It's very depressing, really. And you don't slip on this.
Yeah.
Just keep going that way.
I don't know where to tread.
Today, the tourists are going to help the workers who spend their days sifting through the rubbish.
What are you guys doing here?
What do you want me to get out?
Only plastic.
So plastic bottles, yeah?
Yeah.
Their job is to separate the plastics before the mound of rubbish is burnt.
Oh, shoot!
Only for plastic bottle.
Just plastic.
With no local recycling facilities, the Maldivians export their plastic bottles.
Are you going through the bags as well?
Into the bags as well.
Everything.
Yeah, yes.
But the sheer scale of the problem means these workers are only able to scratch the surface. One way we as tourists can help is by taking our toiletries and empty plastic bottles home with us.
Do you find it quite depressing working here? It's very depressing. Feel bad. Yeah. How much do these men earn a day?
Maybe $5.
About $5 per day.
Per day.
And where are they from?
This area, everyone is Bangladeshi.
Bangladeshi.
Work is Bangladeshi.
Not only do these men work on the island, they live here too.
I am here 3 years and 5 months.
Do you see your family?
Our family in Bangladesh. It is very expensive only.
It's very expensive.
Expensive.
Right, okay.
I've got dead insects, dead food all over me, all over my legs. It's really demeaning. These people do this 7 days a week for less than £5 a day. They're doing this for their family who they never get to see, which is really depressing in itself.
I feel really ashamed. Yeah. I'm willing to pay all these prices for these luxurious resorts, and these people don't see any benefits. You know, their kids will probably end up doing the same thing just for their family, and they never get to know their dad. sad.
While the Maldives relies on tourism as its main industry, Thilafushi is the result of a country struggling to cope with the demands of the holidaymakers. Just a few days after leaving the comfort and luxury of their resort, the holidaymakers' perception of paradise has taken a battering.
I can be quite materialistic, especially when it comes to my holidays and what I like in holidays, and seeing this is quite humbling. I don't want to forget what I've experienced here. I want to keep it fresh, and it's easy for it to fade into the background and the feelings it's bringing up. It's easy when you're back in your normal world to forget about these people that we've met.
There is this facade that is the luxury holiday, and it is really just the facade. Behind that, life looks incredibly difficult. There's loads of people working in absolutely appalling conditions, and that really is not the luxury holiday I want to be on.
Having witnessed the difficulties the Maldives has coping with all the rubbish generated by tourism, Zuba has one more job lined up for his guests.
Housekeeping!
Never thought we'd be doing this.
Taking them back to the resort, he's arranged for them to spend the morning cleaning out the rooms.
Do I have to fold someone's pants, really? And they're inside out. Oh.
And it's here that he hopes they'll realise how small changes in their habits could make a big difference to his country.
It's interesting because you sort of notice more now the amount of bottles that people bring with them, plastic bottles of all different sorts. Where you would, in other hotels, see the sort of plastic bottles provided for you with regard to the toiletries in the hotel, these are actually ceramic. It's obviously a problem that is recognised by the hotel. They're obviously trying to do the best that they can with regard to not providing too many plastics to the holidaymakers.
As a tourist, we could certainly be more considerate with the amount of plastic we bring in and the amount of waste that we use. Not just think about having a good time, enjoying ourselves, but think about how the country reacts and has to react to us as a tourist, and also our waste.
Our luxury-loving tourists, Ali, Stewart, Graham and Sally, have been hijacked from their private beach resort in the Maldives.
Oh, my clothes are filthy.
All week, their host Zuba and his wife Nazu have been showing them life beyond the resort.
Go on, Stu, you could do it.
And the impact their luxury holiday has on his country.
I'm really, really shocked. Wow, thank you.
Tonight is their last night in the Maldives. Tomorrow they'll be flying home. But first, Zuba wants to see if they can resist the luxury of the resort in favour of one more night on Kihadu.
I mean, if you really like to stay with us, you can stay one more day with us. Other option is if you want to stay on Riti Beach, you could also stay one more day there. It's up to you to decide.
It's the moment of truth. The water villa is booked, and if they want to retreat back to the resort, they just have to say the word.
Prefer?
5-star alley.
Yeah, I'd like to spend one last night here. I'm not ready just to go yet.
What about you?
Oh, definitely stay.
Stay.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
In resorts, you're very insular. You might interact to say thank you or can I have a beer, and then that's it. But this has been very much more than that.
That was a really easy decision to make. There was absolutely no question in my mind that I would absolutely love to stay. It's been the most amazing experience.
You've been absolutely fantastic, and we really, really appreciate it.
When we first came here, it was a bit of a shock, but this really does feel familiar now. You know, it feels like you're at home.
It's strange that this is going to be our last night, really. I've had the time of my life on this island. I'm going to be quite sad to leave because they've treated us really well and it's become like a second home.
come next year.
Yes.
Yeah?
Can I try one? Yeah.
It's the Brits' final day, and having seen the negative impact of tourism on the Maldives, Ali wants to find out whether the locals feel there are any benefits.
So Zuba, what do you think of tourism? Is it good for you or not?
Yeah, I think we have got more advantages than disadvantages. You have seen lots of negative factors, but I personally take it as a positive thing. We just depend very much on tourism.
In fact, with the threat of rising sea levels meaning the Maldives may disappear within 50 years, the Maldivian people rely on tourism like no one else on Earth.
We don't pay tax. I mean, Maldivians, we don't pay income tax or any tax. So the only source of income to the government is the tax paid by the visitors, the tourists. They pay like $8 bed tax for every night.
The government planned to use the taxes raised by tourism to relocate the country's population to places like India, Sri Lanka and Australia.
It's such a vicious cycle because here we are contributing to the end of the Maldives within potentially my life cycle and, more importantly, Zuba and his family's. And then on the other hand, we could also help them. It's just...
But kind of without the tourists, there would be no money to rehome these guys, reskill these guys.
Yeah.
We have the tourists who contribute towards the rubbish, the plastic and all the rest of it, and at the same time contributing towards money to help Maldivians with the problem that they have with global warming.
Unsurprisingly, the Maldives has become one of the most environmentally progressive countries in the world. Before you choose your destination, you should explore the resort's eco-credentials. If you want to stay somewhere which combines outright luxury with an eco-tourism project, the banyan tree Vabin Faru comes complete with its very own marine biology lab, where guests can take part in conservation projects. Elsewhere, other resorts that take the issue seriously include the Cocoa Palm Boduhithi, which plans to become the very first carbon-neutral resort in the country. And Suniva Fushi, a top-of-the-range resort, where guests are encouraged to take a tour of this island's recycling area and see some of the ingenious ways in which things are reused on the island. It's Ali, Stewart, Graham and Sally's final afternoon on Kihadu.
This is the net. The others should catch them.
Okay.
Okay? This is the difference.
Zuba and his wife have invited them to join the daily game of Bashi, a sport unique to the Maldives.
I still don't understand it.
Well, we will watch Nazu play.
I think because
She's good at this. Whoa! Nazu!
Right, so I do backwards. Oh, this is quite fun.
As their departure draws near, they have time to reflect on their experiences.
I was a bit of a holiday snob. I used to just stay on the resort, that was it. And I'm really pleased that my attitude has been changed and I've done stuff I never thought I'd ever do. I've surprised myself, actually. Yeah, I'm quite proud of myself.
We've done so much and we've seen so much. Going back to just sitting on a sun lounger for 8 hours a day reading books, it really doesn't appeal to me anymore.
Oh, nearly, Sally.
the thing that we're going to take home with us is that you haven't seen the Maldives until you've actually got out of the resorts, onto the local islands, and actually experienced the people, the culture, and the beauty of it.
The people are absolutely fantastic. They've welcomed us into their whole world, really, and there is so much about them that we should know about.
We're sad to be going, very sad.
Having spent a week with Zuba and the people of Kihadu, it's time for the tourists to say goodbye.
We've been invited.
Yeah, you are most welcome to come and stay again.
Thank you so much. When I've heard people say, oh, I've been to the Maldives, it's gorgeous, they truly haven't been to the Maldives because they haven't experienced local life. They've been to an island with a hotel on it. I don't want to go. I'm really pleased to say I've been to the Maldives and experienced it.